Good evening. This is Maruta from Madame Ru's House of Cards, and I'm coming to you this evening with an inner child reading. It's my first time using this reading, and I'd like some feedback if you choose to participate. I do hope someone will come in at some point. In the meantime, I'll describe the decks and tell you about the reading. The first deck I'm using is called Into the Lonely Woods. And the question that I'm going to be using this deck for is, what part of my inner child is most in need of love and reassurance right now? And how can I begin to offer it? Okay. The second deck is the Inner Child Oracle. And I'm using this deck to answer the question, how can I show up as the parent or protector my inner child always needed? The next deck is the Little Hermit's Tarot. And I'm going to be using that to answer the question, what early experiences or emotions am I still holding on to that my inner child is ready for me to release? The next deck is going to be the Kauai Tarot, and that's going to answer the question, what does my inner child want me to remember about joy, play, and imagination, and how can I bring more of that energy into my adult life? And the last deck is going to be the Tarot of the Divine. And that's going to answer the question, what gifts does my inner child hold that I can now integrate into my present self for greater wholeness and peace? I see that there's one person in the audience, and so I'd like to say hello, and please let me know if you'd be interested in having an inner child reading. I'm not sure what people do in the meantime before their people start coming in. I've seen Hershey having some lunch. Hi, Judith. It's so good to see you in the chat. I hope you're doing well. Would you be interested in an inner child reading? Okay, thanks, Judith. I appreciate the help. You're really, helping me practice and develop, and I appreciate that. And I just want to say, these can be like sensitive issues. So if I say anything that is like a hurtful comment, I'd love for you to let me know right away so I can apologize and try to explain myself better, because I never want to hurt anybody's feelings. So, Judith, the first question is going to be, what part of my inner child is most in need of love and reassurance right now, and how can I begin to offer it? For Judith Anderson. Okay. And we have Gifts of the Lonely Path. So I'm going to be reading the guidebook on this one because it's a deep question. Okay. It says, there will be times when the solitude feels blissful. The sensation of the air, the scent of the bud, the song of the bird, the wisdom of the trees, the knowledge of the steady earth beneath your feet. When you're so full of the song of the world, you become one with the rhapsody of life, as your soul flows forth from the small space in which it was once contained. What once was a void has now become a world overflowing with delight and discovery. What once was darkness is filled with stars. These precious insights may never have been seen or felt or understood had you not been in isolation for a time. There are gifts here on the lonely path. Receive them and make them yours. So, let's see, how does that relate to your question? What part of my inner child is most in need of love and reassurance? Do you need to step out of the solitude and experience gifts from society? Am I reaching here? Maybe I need a different deck for that question. This is a test. This is only a test. How can I show up as the parent or protector my inner child always needed? Okay, it says my creativity flows freely. Kiss the cook and create. Hi, Miss Moonlight. Thanks for stopping by. So I would say that nurturing yourself by creating would be a way to parent yourself from any past. Okay. Good. Thanks for that feedback, Judith. Okay. What early experience or emotions am I still holding on to that my inner child is ready for me to release? So I thought the Inner Hermits would be a kind of an appropriate deck for that question. Let's see what the Hermit can let go of. Okay. So the card I got for you was the Eight of Wands, which is about messages. What this says to me is that you have a lot of words bottled up inside of you that probably need to come out, that you need to let people know how you actually feel about things. Your internet is being weird. I'm sorry, Miss Moonlight. That stinks when it happens. My next question is creativity and play. What does my inner child want me to remember about joy, play, and imagination? And how can I bring more of that energy into my adult life? And I'm using the Kauai Tarot for that because it's my most playful deck. That's interesting. I got the Five of Wands, which is fighting. So, come on, give me. There we go. I guess you need to do some play fighting. Something to get your juices flowing, something to get your energy moving outward. Some standing up for yourself, practicing on how to do that so that you can extend your messages, with the passion and force that they need to be extended with. Animals learn to survive in the wild by play fighting as children. So I guess that's the message for that card. And the last question is, what does my inner child hold that I can now integrate? What gifts does my inner child hold that I can now integrate into my present self for greater wholeness and peace? And got the Emperor. So, you are the ruler of your domain. You have the gift of sight, of vision. You have the gift of planning. So, plan your assault and carry it out. But only in a nonviolent way, of course. Your verbal assault, shall we call it. I hope that worked for you, Judith. If you'd like to leave a comment, that would be great after the live. Thanks, Miss Moonlight. Hi, Karen. So if Miss Moonlight or Karen would like an inner child reading, please let me know in the comments. I'm glad, Judith. I'm glad that was helpful. Okay, Karen, I'll take you. So the first question for Karen is, what part of my inner child is most in need of love and reassurance right now? Okay, Karen, you're up. Oh, you know what? I keep forgetting to do. I wanted to make some mods, so I want Judith to be a mod if that's all right. And I think I'm probably just going to do mods for everyone that's here tonight. Okay. All right, so let's read that question again since I got sidetracked. What part of my inner child is most in need of love and reassurance right now? So the card I got is ebbs and flows. And let's see what the book has to say about that card. There will always be moments when we find ourselves unable to find our place within the world. Those we once knew have fallen away, and those we have yet to form trust and loving relationships with are yet to come. We are sometimes given responsibilities to care for on our own when we thought they would be shared. It is natural to contemplate what we may be doing wrong or is lacking in us, but this will pass. The truth is, we all go through the initiations of companionship and solitude, of intimacy and estrangement, of deep understanding and the grief of being misunderstood or abandoned. This moment is an ebb, but soon the flow of companionship will come. Friendship and love will surely flow back to you, as too will that true and deep sense of belonging. Okay. And the next card is, how can I show up as a parent or protector my inner child always needed? Okay. And we have natural connection. It says, I am a bright and blossoming being. So, as your own parent, you should remember that you are a beautiful person, whether people see your value or not. And treat yourself as that worthy. When you esteem yourself, you naturally attract. Okay? So that's that. The next card will be answering the question, what early experiences or emotions am I ready for me to release? And we got the moon. The moon is about illusions, and it's about the body. So I think you're ready to release any illusions that you're holding about your body as far as being worthy or attractive, because whatever it looks like, it's housing your soul, and it contains your intuition. Okay. The next question is, what does my inner child want me to remember about joy, play, and imagination? And how can I bring more of that energy into my adult life? we have the Chariot. Now, the Chariot is about motion, but it's also about being protected and safe. I would say perhaps doing some imaginary travels. I think that would be fun for you to, well, you said about art, so perhaps you can create your own wonderful place to go to feel good. Okay, and the last question is, what gift does my inner child hold that I can now integrate into my present self for greater wholeness and peace? Card for Karen. And we have the Seven of Coins. The Seven of Coins is often discussed as being patience. But I think the Seven of Coins is really, it's about managing anticipation and expectations. And it's about nurturing what you've started to create. I think that's, a gift that you can share with yourself. Okay, Karen, and that's the reading. I hope that was helpful. I'm glad that it's accurate so far. And I want to say hi to Amanda. Thanks for stopping in. If anyone else would be interested in the reading, please let me know in the comments. Okay, Miss Moonlight, thanks for stopping by. Have a great night. I'm glad you liked it, Karen. Thanks for letting me know. I'm really glad that I could help. Hi, Mandy. Thanks for stopping in. It's great to see you. Great to meet you. I think Mandy's the only person that hasn't had a reading that's in chat right now. If you'd like a reading, Mandy, please do comment. If you are not interested, you're Wednesday's child. Okay, great. Me too. All right. So, come on now. We're going wrong. Okay, Mandy, the first question is, what part of my inner child is most in need of love and reassurance right now? Okay, so card for Mandy. card is called When All Seems Ended. And the book says, we sculpt our lives until its shape is familiar, and we create patterns and stories and rituals around these shapes, all of which make up the beautiful moments of our days. We have a whole world, and yet sometimes that world, through no decision we have made, comes to its ending. It is this moment for you. All that once was will soon be the past. What is no longer is what was, and that kingdom that was is no more. Yet you are still standing. In truth, every living being is always in flux and change. Beneath the surface, at a deep level, the world keeps moving through her cycles. To live is to change. Take a moment to look upon what once was, to let it go, to give it honor, to say goodbye, and then to slowly stumble into the mysterious unknown, which holds what will become the beautiful future. And the next question is, how can I show up as the parent or protector my inner child always needed? Oh no. Oh, that's so sad. It says, I quiet my mind to hear the song of my heart. Heart wisdom. You can still hear your pet in your heart, and that love will go on. I am sorry about the loss of your pet. It's very sad. What early experiences or emotions am I still holding on to that my inner child is ready for me to release? That's good, Mandy. Okay. The card I got is Justice. Do you feel perhaps that there was some injustice in your past that you're ready to forgive and let go of? The next question is, what does my inner child want me to remember about joy, play, and imagination? And how can I bring more of that energy into my adult life? Oh dear. Your cheating husband. That is an injustice indeed. have the Queen of Wands. Focus, please. Okay. The Queen of Wands is the passionate one, and we see her love of animals. So I would say, as your budgie has passed, perhaps you need the companionship of other animals to help you with your, you know, with your emotions of loss. So perhaps volunteering at a shelter or even just visiting a pet store could help you feel better. Okay. And the last question is, what gifts does my inner child hold that I can now integrate into my present self for greater wholeness and peace? Card for Mandy, please. Dog is always with me, but I would love a cat. That would be great. And it would be safer now that you don't have a bird. When we have the Two of Swords, the gift of the Two of Swords is to make a choice, make a thoughtful choice, even when your emotions are trying to sweep you. That's what I have for you. And best wishes, Mandy. Thank you for stopping. And I want to welcome in Hershey and Ramon. Thank you for joining us tonight. If anybody else is here, hello. And if you'd like an inner child reading, please do comment. You're very welcome, Mandy. And best wishes. So if there's no more takers, I have been on about half an hour, which is pretty good for me. How was my day? It was fine. It was normal. Pretty good, except for all the shenanigans the government's doing. Everything else is great. Thanks, Ramon. I really feel like it's something that I need to be doing since I went and bought all these cards, I ought to be using them for something. And I really like to help people if I'm able. Read for you. Oh, thank you. I'd be happy to. So the first question in the reading is, what part of my inner child is most in need of love and reassurance right now? that your truth is powerful. That's interesting, Ramon. Your inner child is in need and reassurance of the fact that the things that you have to say are real and important, and the way that you say them is unique and valuable. The next question is, how can I show up as the parent or protector my inner child always needed? For a moment, please. We got the card Peace and Love. It says, I bring peace to the world. So give yourself the gift of a peaceful place, a peaceful moment. You do a lot. You need some rest and recuperation and self-love. Experiences or emotions am I still holding on to that my inner child is ready for me to release? We have the Magician. I think you're ready to release your inner power, Ramon. You're ready to step into all the magic that you can make. The next card is, what does my inner child want me to remember about joy, play, and imagination? And how can I bring more of that energy into my adult life? We got the Emperor card. So, how does an Emperor play? The Emperor is about vision and planning. And I feel like that's how you enjoy yourself. You plan things out for your next creations. And the last card is about, what gifts does my inner child hold? I'm sorry. What gifts does my inner child hold that I can now integrate into my present self for greater wholeness and peace. All right. Temperance. Your gift is being able to balance and mix and find the right combination. All right. And that's all the messages I have for you, Ramon. I hope that was helpful. Hershey says, me too, please. Okay. I'll try to make this quick. I know you're about to go live too. All right. So, first question is, what part of my inner child is most in need of love and reassurance right now? Beautiful. Ron says, beautiful messages. It was healing for me. Love those cards. Thank you very much, Maruta. I love your energy. That makes me feel very blessed. Thank you, Ramon. Card for Hershey, please. Hershey, girl. Look what it says. Look what it says. Can you read it? Come on. Focus. It says our shadows are beautiful. Look at that, Hershey. Your shadows are beautiful. We love you. The second question is, how can I show up as the parent or protector my inner child always needed? Star guidance. It says, I follow my dreams to greater knowing. So let's see. How is that a parental? I guess, yeah, the stars are your parents. You know that. This one is, what early experiences or emotions am I still holding on to that my inner child is ready for me to release? Card for Hershey, please. I think you're ready to release the fact that you had to make hard choices. You were stuck between a rock and a hard place. and you did what you had to do. The next question is, what does my inner child want me to remember about joy, play, and imagination? And how can I bring more of that energy into my adult life? It's a cardtastrophe. Okay. Card for Hershey. I think this is really funny. The Fool card, because you always talk about playing the Fool. Go ahead, Hershey, play the Fool. Have some fun with it. Hi, Bora Bora. Thanks for stopping by. The last question is, what gifts does my inner child hold that I can now integrate into my present self for greater wholeness and peace? You have the gift of asking for help when you need it. You have the gift of making a little bit go a long way. And that's what I have for you, Hershey. Love you, babe. Hi, Mo. All right. Well, since I don't know, I'm supposed to be modding for Hershey, so I'm probably gonna get going in a little bit. If there's anyone else in chat that would like a reading, let me know. If not, we'll say goodnight for now, and I will probably be doing this again next Wednesday, since it seems to be getting a good response. All right. Thanks for stopping in. Love you guys. Mwah. Bye-bye.